What'd you up to?
Oh, I'm checking out new merch on Tokon Global.
Oh yeah, they put out new products like every month. I just got a t-shirt.
I got a beautiful towel.
I just got boxers.
Oh yeah?
I'm wearing them right now. I just ordered a mask. Good, the sooner the better, because I don't want to see your ugly face. I love Tokon Global.
I as well.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adnan Qureshi. I am one of the English ring announcers with New Japan Pro Wrestling of America. And Filthy Tom Lawlor has been a sensation in combat sports. First in the world of mixed martial arts, where he had a notable career in the UFC, then parlaying that into a successful career in professional wrestling, which led him here to New Japan Pro Wrestling, in particular on New Japan Strong, where he won the New Japan Cup USA 2021 to become the first and so far only strong openweight champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling history. Now, we will have some Filthy Tom Lawlor merchandise that is available on sale at the Tokon Shop Global that you can get a link toward in the description in the video right now or the pinned comment in the chat. And Mr. Lawlor will sign your merchandise live on stream, and I'll be asking him some of your questions. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you, he is the leader of Team Filthy. He is the first and only strong openweight champion, Filthy Tom Lawlor.
Wake up and smell the roses.
How you doing today, Mr. Lawlor?
Yeah, good to see you, Adnan.
Yeah, I see you brought the club with you.
Thank you, but it's a mace, my friend. I can see this is a very nice setup, but, you know, I don't have a microphone. The people can hear me, though. Everybody can hear me out there. Good, good. It's very important that you're listening to the champion, not my friend over here. Although, he did a pretty good job of introducing me. The lack of music killed the mood, but, hey, Filthy Tom is always prepared.
Well,
like I said.
we are glad to have you here, Mr. Lawlor, and let's introduce some of the folks to some of the items that they can purchase right now off the Tokon Shop Global. Just follow the link in the description, and you too can get a piece that is signed by Filthy Tom while he is here. So we have here the brand new Team Filthy t-shirt, this logo right over here. And then we have the classic Dots version of the Team Filthy t-shirt, as it has all 5 members of Team Filthy on it. We got Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have Royce Isaacs first, Jarrell Nelson, collectively known as the West Coast Wrecking Crew. On the other side, we have the most feared JR Kratos. We have Danny Limelight. And then we have myself, the leader of Team Filthy, Filthy Tom Lawlor.
Yes, indeed. We have... It's a great shirt that can be purchased right now, and Mr. Lawlor will sign it for you live on the stream. As well as we have these 2 lovely portraits here of Mr. Lawlor with the Strong Openweight Championship. Mr. Lawlor, do you have a favorite of the 2 portraits that are in front of you right here?
Honestly, when you look as good as I do in either one of those, you can't go wrong. Especially with Valentine's Day having just passed. I'm sure there's plenty of fellas out there who bought a nice portrait of me, not only for their lady, but for themselves. A little bit of motivation, perhaps to get stronger.
Well, No better way to get stronger than with the strong open weight champion here. And in fact, we have a special bonus.
Speaking of which, go ahead and hold that for me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We have a special bonus with Mr. Lawlor today. Is one of the lucky fans who has purchased an item off the Tokon Shop Global for this meet and greet has a chance of winning your actual denim shorts that you wear to the ring.
Yes, my denim over shorts. Some would call them jorts. These are the shorts that I wear above my usual denim tights. So you've seen these worn to the ring. They've been an in-ring action in front of you, and you can wear them yourself and get filthy with me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so don't forget to head over to the Tokon Shop Global right now and submit your questions and place your orders, but let's get started with the questions. So the first question we have here is going to be from Brian from Clifton Park, New York. He ordered one of these lovely portraits.
Ooh.
And he has a question here. He says, please make it out to Toroyano fan account, please. Also, can you ask Tom who he has the most heat with?
Well, Mr. Toriyanu fan account, if I can be quite honest, I think the person that I have the most heat, absolute scorching heat with, is his buddy Dick Togo.
Oh. The spoiler, huh?
Yeah, I don't like what I see going on over there with the House of Torture. And as far as I'm concerned, he's got some massive heat with Team Filthy. So watch out, Dick.
Oh, perhaps in the future we could get a future Team Filthy versus House of Torture match. That would be very interesting. All right. Beautiful as we have it there. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch Filthy Tom Lawlor, our strong openweight champion, every Saturday on New Japan Strong at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. This week we have the USFJ Open Challenge going on, as well as Midnight Heat versus Kevin Knight in the DKC, as well as Fred Rosser versus Gabriel Kidd. So definitely something to look forward to this week. Next question we have here, we have Frank from Commerce, California. He has also gotten himself an autographed portrait. He asked, can you put it to Frank? And then his question is, who was your favorite wrestler growing up, and who is your current favorite wrestler?
My favorite wrestler growing up, I mean, I'm sure like many children that watched wrestling when they were growing up, they were in the U.S., you were primarily a WCW fan or a WWF fan. And the guy that always spoke to me when I was a kid, just because I had so much in common with him, was Mr. Perfect.
And then what about your current favorite wrestler he would also like to know?
You're looking at him.
Oh, there you go. That is for you, Frank. And now you know Tom Lawlor's current and past favorite wrestlers. Next up, we are going to move on here to Michael from Minneapolis, Minnesota. He also got himself a lovely portrait. He writes here, on Labor Day weekend this year, I saw you have a tremendous match with Alex Shelley. I believe we stayed at the same hotel and was wondering if you remember me walking into the hotel lobby with a Domino's pizza. Cheers!
No. I don't remember anybody walking in to the lobby with a Domino's pizza. I wish I could say I did. But quite frankly, after I wrestle, I usually get something, much better than Domino's pizza. Mm-hmm. You should see how many points I have on my 7-Eleven account.
Really?
I can rip through taquitos like there's no tomorrow after a match. So I have like blinders on. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've got a one-track mind.
Yeah, the taquitos.
Michael?
It was, let's see here. Yeah, Michael, yes. Michael from Minneapolis. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We also still have tickets available for New Japan Strong Rivals tomorrow at the Vermont Hollywood. Be sure to get your tickets and join us. NJPW1972.com for information.
I'd go with the thin crust next time.
Oh,
if I were him.
You're a fan of thin crust? Okay. Next we have Chris from Meriden, Minnesota. And he doesn't have a question. He just has a comment. He says, thanks for doing the dopest wrestling out there today.
Hey, Chris, you know what? I agree wholeheartedly with you. I have a lot of fun out there in the ring, but I don't have more fun in my life right now in wrestling anywhere than I do in that New Japan ring. I'll tell you that much. So it is the dopest.
It is pretty dope seeing you week in and week out. I mean, next week you're going to have a tough time on Strong from the New Beginning of USA where you'll have, former Team Filthy member Taylor Rust will be facing you for the Strong Openweight Championship. Do you have any words for Taylor Rust ahead of your match with him at the New Beginning of USA that will be airing?
Taylor Distrust? You mean, Taylor, listen, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And that's exactly what you did. You were lucky to be a part of Team Filthy. And what did you have to do? You had to bite the hand that not only fed Team Filthy and fed you, but the hand that feeds New Japan Strong, buddy. And now, you're not going to get fed anymore. You're going to starve. Have fun.
Well, be sure to catch that on Strong in just a couple of weeks. Next up, we have Jeff here from Klamath Falls, Oregon. And his question here is, my goal is to start wrestling personally while adding a catch wrestling style into my training. My question is, when you with your accomplishments as an MMA fighter and having a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, how can you compare between training in various martial arts and professional wrestling?
Well, they're very similar in most ways. One of the best things that you can do, whether you're looking to be involved in MMA or pro wrestling, is be very, very, very good at the basics. And one thing that a lot of jiu-jitsu schools are good at is developing people with the basics. And that's something that you see in the wrestling ring, especially here in New Japan and New Japan Strong. All of the wrestlers, all of the young lions, all of the graduated members from the dojo, guys who are brought in from the outside, are all very good at the basics. And the basics take a long time to get good at. So the best thing that you can do is just keep going, keep training. And it's hard to do that in either one. So I always get asked which one's tougher. And to be honest, I can't answer that question. It depends on, different time of the year, the weather. There's many factors that'll change my answer as to which one's tougher. But they're both the toughest thing, I think, that you can do on this planet. So,
Well, you are a very tough man, Mr. Lawlor. I'm sure Jeff will appreciate the advice that you have given him. There we go. Making that out to Jeff here.
Is that Jeff Cobb?
No, his last name is Leaper. Unfortunately not Jeff Cobb with the United Empire. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get some signed merchandise from Filthy Tom Lawlor,
I charge him double.
Oh, there you go. Visit the Tokon Shop Global right now. Get yourself some signed merch from Mr. Lawlor. All right, so next up we have Rick from Santa Clara, California. He bought one of the actual Dots t-shirts as well as a couple of portraits. I don't know why, but he put his name in quotation marks.
As will I.
Yeah. So what Rick here, he has a question. He says, hi, we got to see you live at Battle in the Valley. We were right behind the announce team. When you came over to them, my mom thought you were very intimidating. Her birthday was in December, but she didn't get to do anything fun. Could you wish her a happy belated birthday? Her name is Chris. She turned 62.
Wow. Happy birthday, Chris. If you were here, I'd give you, can I give a hug in today's day and age?
I mean...
well, you know what? She's not here, so I'll do the best thing I can. Here's a virtual hug. Happy birthday, Chris. I hope it was nice and filthy, because everybody deserves a filthy birthday, don't they?
I believe so, yeah. And happy filthy birthday to Chris. I hope you enjoyed your virtual hug from Filthy Tom Lawlor. Hopefully you can be with us again soon to see Mr. Lawlor in action. He will be in action tomorrow night at New Japan Strong Rivals at the Vermont Hollywood. He'll be in a 10-man tag, leading Team Filthy in a match against Team Rosser. 2 portraits right there for you, Rick.
I hope one of those wasn't for Chris. If it is, well, let me know.
They didn't specify.
I'll do my best to re-sign it one day.
T-shirt.
Look at this. Hey.
That is right.
That's right. Hold on. Nobody briefed me on how to do this, but I'll figure it out on my own. Gotta switch markers.
You're not only a great athlete, you are a smart competitor, so you know exactly what you're doing here. But yeah, you will be leading Team Filthy tomorrow night at Rivals at the Vermont Hollywood, as you'll be taking on Team Rosser, which will be comprised of Fred Rosser, Carl Fredericks, Clark Connors, Taylor Rust, as well as Adrian Quest. There you go. That one's for you, Rick. Next up, we have Justin from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And Justin writes, "Hi, Tom. I became a fan of yours in the early days of New Japan Strong, so I was happy that you won and continued to defend the Strong Openweight title. Your love of pro wrestling and MMA is good to see. Even better, you have one of the best ring entrance themes in Strong. Did you have any input on selecting or creating the entrance music?"
It's so good, I'm going to play it again.
Okay, go for it.
For Justin.
Yeah, this is for Justin, yep.
That's me singing. Listen. Wake up and smell the roses. See? Not only did I have input into it, I wrote it, produced it, starred in it, like a one-man show. I don't need anyone else to play my instrument. Come on.
Might be starting a new record label, Filthy Labels. You never know. There you go. That's for you, Justin. Hope you enjoyed hearing Filthy Tom Lawlor's theme played by the man himself for you. Next up, we have Matthew from Washington, from Everett, Washington. And it looks like he has a couple of questions here. A special F4W Empire shout-out from Matt B425 on the board.
All right.
Can't wait to see Tom wrestle in Japan. 2 quick questions. 1, favorite Stardom match other than Siryu versus Utami?
Well, they've had 4 matches, so I can't pick any of those.
I guess not. Yes, it's other than.
I mean, Julia versus Mayu Iwatani, which just happened last month, was pretty awesome if you ask me. 30-minute draw, so let's go with that one.
Okay. And then his second question for you is, did Dave Kaplan ever forgive you for sending him into the Nether Realm?
You know, Dave Kaplan, who is the man who was infamously knocked out by myself on The Ultimate Fighter Season 8 after claiming that he could not be knocked out, he actually appeared on an episode of Jeopardy!
Oh, really?
A few years ago, yes. And he is one of the few contestants I have seen finish with negative dollars and not make it to the final round. So I'd like to believe that had I not hit him, he'd be a millionaire. He would have won that episode. He'd probably be hosting the show in retrospect at this point, but nope, he's in the Nether Realm. And yeah, never thanked me, that's for sure.
All right. Well, now we know that you can cost a man a game of Jeopardy. That is for you, Matthew.
A life-changing, perhaps, game. Instead, his life was in jeopardy after I hit him.
All right. Next up, we have here Sean from Waterton, New York. And it's just a comment here. It says, please address this to Sam, with 2 M's, it looks like. And any reference to the Emmanuel movies would be great. Thank you.
I hope he's not looking for a written reference to them, because I would, essentially I could write down a review, give it a star rating as if we were on Yelp.
Right.
Or one of those things, and talk about the hot tub scene or,
You'd turn your 8x10 in almost like an Amazon review. It'd have however many
Exactly.
stars and then
Exactly.
just a giant paragraph on there.
Although I'm not sure if Amazon reviews softcore videos from Skinamax in the 90s, but
Well, I would not know, unfortunately. So I will tell you though that
You're not a fan of Emmanuel, I guess.
I can't say that I am. I can tell everybody that New Japan Pro Wrestling is back on the road, as we will be in St. Petersburg at the St. Petersburg Coliseum in Tampa, Florida, this upcoming March, on March 20th for Strong Style Evolve. Tickets are still available. If you check njpw1972.com, the man himself, Filthy Tom Lawlor, will be there in action. And then we have here, next up, we've got Tomohiro from Shibuya, Tokyo. And Tomohiro says, I will buy it as proof of my desire to meet you in Japan. Let's meet me wearing this shirt at Korakuen Hall.
Hey, I hope that happens. Thank you, Tom. A fellow Tom, right? Tomohiro.
Tomohiro.
Thank you very much. I hope that you do wear this shirt. I hope you're happy with it. It's great quality. And I hope I get to meet you at Korakuen Hall. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
That'd be cool.
Sure would.
Yeah, if you were to meet Tomohiro after perhaps having a match with Tomohiro Ishii at Korakuen Hall, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, for Ishii.
There you go. That one goes out to you, Tomohiro, as that'll be going all the way to Shibuya in Japan. Next up, we've got Scott over here from New Baltimore, Michigan. He also got a Team Filthy t-shirt. And he has a question. It is, what is your most treasured piece of pro wrestling merchandise you own? And what is your most wanted piece of merchandise?
The most treasured piece of merchandise that I own is a Tadao Yasuda action figure, which actually Mr. Nagata-san has mentioned on Japanese commentary on New Japan Strong. So it's infamous in a way, and I will protect that Yasuda action figure at all costs. Now, my most wanted piece of memorabilia, I guess you could say, is a Taka Michinoku Bendy action figure.
Oh.
Now, my general rule of thumb is that I will purchase the action figure if they have been in an MMA fight. And not a lot of people know this, but Taka Michinoku indeed competed in Pancrase.
Oh, he did?
Yes, so I must have a Taka figure.
There you go. From one fighter to another. Filthy Tom looking for a Taka Michinoku Bendy.
I guess you could say.
Yeah, right? A Bendy?
Yeah.
So if you have
It was more the from one fighter to another comment.
Oh, okay.
But
so if you're looking, so if you have a Taka Michinoku Bendy that you're looking to sell, hit up Filthy Tom on his Twitter at Filthy Tom Lawlor.
yeah, somebody else actually won it in an auction. I got 2 Mudos.
Oh, at least you didn't come out empty-handed. Yeah. All right, next up we have here. Let's see.
Very disappointed.
We've got Hiroki from Hiroshima, and then Hiroki asks, have you ever had a hard time switching from martial arts to professional wrestling?
For me, no. For the other people that I'm wrestling, probably. If you catch my drift. I've been very fortunate to kind of realize that the more professional wrestling, in a sense, like American style professional wrestling I do, the worse at professional wrestling I am. So I try to stick to what I know, which is kind of what everybody should do in a lot of ways. And I kind of just do moves that you would see in a fight. So no, it's not too hard.
All right. Well, it's what works for you. It's what's kept you the only strong open weight champion in New Japan history. So I can see why.
That's Hiroki?
That was Hiroki. 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 And then don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that you can watch New Japan Pro Wrestling action each and every week on Access TV on Thursday night. So that'll be tomorrow, actually. And that is going to be at 7 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern. So don't miss New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access TV every Thursday. Next up, we have here Koyo from Itami Hyogo. He got both a t-shirt as well as a portrait. And then he just has a comment. Show me 10-man tag team match, LIJ versus Team Filthy, and you will dominate G1. I'll be waiting in Japan for you.
I agree. What a great comment. I wish he had asked the question and that would have been my answer, because that was a tremendous comment. And I wish I had said it myself. But when you take a look at the merchandise here, look at this. Wouldn't you want to see Royce Isaacs throw around Sonata? Wouldn't you want to see Danny Limelight DDT? You know, who could it be? I mean, Naito, could be anybody.
Could be Bushi, Hiromu.
JR Kratos. They don't even have anybody that's strong as JR Kratos. Shingo, he's not even close to as strong as Kratos. And then there's me, level above him. You know, they had their hands full with Congo. They think that they can step up to Team Filthy. I don't think so.
Those are strong words from Mr. Lawler there. Oh, to Koyo. So it's Koyo.
Strong words from the strong openweight champion.
We could perhaps see that in the future one day. Team Filthy versus Los Ingobernables de Japón. I'd pay to see it. I'm sure the world would pay to see it. Koyo definitely would pay to see it. All right.
He already knows who the victor is going to be, though. So.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, look at that.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, New Japan Strong action is going to be coming to WrestleCon on April 1st in Dallas, Texas. So don't forget, you can grab some tickets for there, and that'll be awesome to see Minoru Suzuki live at WrestleCon in Dallas, Texas. So don't forget to be there with us at Lone Star Shootout.
Cool name.
I thought so. I really like the name Lone Star Shootout.
Did you have anything to do with it? No?
Oh, unfortunately. They didn't ask me for any input. Probably better that way. Next up, we've got
I could have sworn that they would have consulted you.
No, unfortunately not. Next up, we've got Dagan from Brattleboro, Vermont. And he's got a comment. Says, hey, Filthy. Thanks for providing one of the greatest moments of 2021. The reaction to the mummy sound effect. Hope to see you in the G1 this year. Cheers, Dagan.
Dagan's from Brattleboro, Vermont, huh?
Yes.
A nice small arts town, a liberal arts town in the mountains. Wow, I didn't know that's where he's from. Perhaps he could unearth a mummy from Egypt, or I guess from the mountains of Vermont, much like they did in Egypt. Are you familiar with what Dagan's referring to?
I've seen the clip. It's a clip from Wrestling Observer Live with you and Brian.
Yes, well, originally it's a clip from National Geographic,
right,
in which they unearthed a mummy from thousands of years ago and spent Lord knows how many millions of dollars in order to recreate the voice of the mummy. And I will do my best now to recreate the voice that they had of the voice of the mummy, and it was this.
It was indistinguishable. I think you did it.
Yes, and we wonder why some people don't fully trust science in some ways, because, you know, we have instances in which millions of dollars are being spent for something like that. But it did provide us with some great comedy, and I'm glad, Dagan, that you brought it up here, and I'm glad I could bring a little bit of comedy to your life as well.
A total belly of laughs. You laughed for like 5 straight minutes in that clip.
That was then, this is now. How do you spell it?
Dagan.
Can't read the room, can you?
Oh, sorry.
Thanks, bud.
That one goes out to you, Dagan. There you go. Next up here, we have Keenan from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's got just a comment. Hey, Tom, love Filthy 4 daily and your wrestling. Badass. Short and sweet.
What's the name?
That was Keenan.
Ah, Keenan.
Yeah.
Two
Okay.
E's,
Yeah, 2 E's.
A-N.
Yes.
Look at that. We're on the same page, buddy.
There you go. Hope you like it,
Thank
Keenan.
you. Appreciate it.
That one goes out to you, Keenan. Next up, we have Kesuke from Setsagawa, Tokyo. And he's got a question. He says, I hope you will participate in this year's G1 Climax. Who do you want to fight in New Japan Pro Wrestling?
I think it's obvious. I want whoever has that King of Pro Wrestling trophy, whether it's Suzuki, whether it's Yano. That's who I want. I'm right now the King of Strong, as far as I'm concerned,
Right.
but I want more. I want to be the King of Pro Wrestling. Think about it. King Filthy.
Has a good ring to it. I mean, side question to that, what stipulation would you pick if you were to challenge for the King of Pro Wrestling?
You know what I would choose? Vanguard Deathmatch.
I am 100% willing to bet that New Japan would absolutely approve of that idea. There you go. So Yano or Suzuki could have a Vanguard death match on tap for them after their KLPW match. So this one goes out to Keisuke. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we are about at the half-hour mark, so you got less than a half hour left to head over to the Tokon Shop Global using the link in the description or the pinned comment in the chat and order some signed Filthy Tom Lawlor merchandise while he is still here in the building, and maybe you could also get your question in before the time runs out. In the meantime, though, we've got another comment here, actually, from Joe in College Park, Maryland. And it says, this is for Joe, who is ordering this from the hospital after knee surgery because Tom Lawlor's worth it. Go Team Filthy.
Well, Joe, I appreciate it. I wish you the best on your recovery from knee surgery. I myself have a cadaver, a dead person's knee in my knee now. And I have actually come back from that, and I've had the best years of my life. So hopefully you do the same thing, Joe.
There you go, Joe. Encouraging words. Get better soon. Next up
I
here.
wonder whose knee it is.
Could be that mummy's.
Could be the mummy.
Yeah. Next up, we have Paven from Fairfield, Connecticut. He got both portraits, and he's got a comment. The best podcast host around. Can't wait to see you in the G1.
That's it.
That's it.
2 portraits. Wow.
But hey, you can't wait to see you in the G1. So that's Pavan, Paven.
You have no comments about me being the best podcast host around? You don't agree with that?
I-
You'd like to see me in the G1 at least.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm not the best podcast host around.
I believe you are a fantastic podcast host.
You've never listened, have you?
I have heard clips.
You're a bootlegger. You're a pirate, aren't you?
I have
Tell
not
the truth.
No. The F word.
Tell the truth over
I
there.
have not pirated any podcast. I haven't pirated anything. Okay. Unfortunately, I have not bootlegged anything. I have not bootlegged a Figure 4 Daily subscription at all. So don't worry. Please don't report me to Uncle Dave about that.
Don't worry. I'm on the torrent sites. I know what your account is.
Oh no. Well, let's move on before you get me banned here. So next up we have here Corey from Rockville, Maryland. And Corey's got a question. It's how can you get even filthier, or is it to say more filthy, in 2022?
Honestly, I doubt I can.
You've hit the pinnacle?
I think so. At this point, I mean, the only thing that I can think of, the only way to get filthier is to wear less clothing. And the way that starts is by losing these shorts today.
Oh.
So,
Well, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can still get in, hopefully, to try and win Filthy Tom Lawlor shorts right here. That was for Corey. Corey. So go over to the Tokon Shop Global right now, and you could possibly win an autographed pair of shorts that were worn by Filthy Tom Lawlor. Next up here, we have Tara from Marietta, Georgia. It says, just a comment here that says, please sign to Tara. I love Tom and hope to see more of him in New Japan and hopefully in the G1 this year. Thanks.
Thanks, Tara. I wish you didn't read that kind of comment on air. Now I have to deal with the repercussions of having a woman tell me that she loves me.
I'm sorry.
And having everybody hear that.
I apologize.
But thank you, Tara. I love you as well in the most plutonic of ways possible, and thank you.
There you go, Tara. That's for you. Hopefully no one else claims to love you for my own sake here. So next up, we've got...
Well, you love me, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
I love you, Tom.
All right, thank you.
Very much. Just next up here, we've got Justin from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He's got a comment as well. It says, we want Filthy Tom Lawlor in matches and tournaments in Japan. We want Tom Lawlor in the G1 Climax and fighting for the IWGP and Never Championships. Lawlor versus Zack Sabre Jr. is a dream fight. Let's go, Team Filthy. Seems like the general consensus is most people want you in the G1 this year.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting opponent as well, Zack Sabre.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah, that seems to be who Justin wants to see, specifically you and Zack Sabre Jr. Any thoughts on a possible dream match, so to speak, with you and Zack Sabre Jr.?
I mean, Zack Sabre is, despite his appearance, I guess you could say, a formidable and accomplished mat technician, but there's levels to this, and I think he's in over his head when we hit the mat. They got to twist him up in knots.
All right. Well, there's some strong words from the strong champion, who you can see actually coming on April 16th for Windy City Riot in Chicago, Illinois. Tickets are still available at njpw1972.com. They are very limited. They have gone fast, so get yours so you can see Filthy Tom Lawlor in action in Chicago. Next up here, we've got Christopher from Surprise, Arizona. And then he's got a question. He says, hey, it is Christopher Dotson. I am wondering, how was MMA harder than pro wrestling? Do you have a full-time contract with New Japan? Also, is there anyone you would like to fight on the New Japan roster, not including Strong?
Still mad about Zack Sabre. Thinking about all the ways I can take that chicken chest, crack it right in front of the people. Anyways,
he asked, how was MMA harder than pro wrestling?
I mean, it's not. Pro wrestling is probably the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life. And, I did a little bit of pro wrestling in the mid-2000s, and I came back to it for a reason. And I seem to be drawn to things that are difficult. And, to me, pro wrestling is harder than mixed martial arts.
There you go.
And that's probably why I'm drawn to it, unfortunately.
You like a challenge?
I do. It appears that way. I mean, I'm on New Japan Strong. Look at the guys that I have to fight.
Right.
Not a whole lot of slouches.
And that's going to be Christopher. And then that one is for you, Christopher. Hope you enjoyed it. And then, also he had the two other questions, which is, do you have a full-time contract with New Japan?
I do not. I consider myself a freelancer of sorts, and you can see, if you watch my schedule, I am non-exclusive to New Japan.
All right.
You can catch me, maybe, I don't know where he's from, a
He-
lot of times you can catch me at your local independent wrestling promotion.
He's from Surprise, Arizona.
Not in Surprise, Arizona.
All right.
But
Sorry, Christopher.
Some other places.
You might have to come down to the Vermont Hollywood tomorrow and catch Filthy Tom in action. And then the last part of his questions were also, was there anyone that you'd like to fight on the New Japan roster, not including Strong? So probably also let's just exclude Zack Sabre Jr. since we already know.
We could take away Zack Sabre Jr. Let's take away Toru Yano and
Minoru Suzuki. So outside of those three.
Oh, man. I mean, there's so many guys. After watching that amateur rules match, I kind of want to go against Tokon as well.
That would actually be really good, yeah.
I mean, we already mentioned Yano, so I want to do one of those amateur rules matches. You know, maybe, I don't know, who wants to have an ultimate crush fight with me? Everybody's asking who I want to face. Who wants to face me? Huh?
That's very interesting. We don't know. Maybe somebody might
Probably
call you
no one.
out. Anybody could be calling you out for that strong openweight championship.
Probably no one.
Oh. Well, next up here we have a Sho here from Niigata in Japan. And Sho asks, do you know Niigatekin, Japanese famous rice?
No, I'm not familiar. Should I be?
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar either, unfortunately, Sho. So neither myself nor Filthy Tom are familiar with Japanese famous rice. SHO.
I hope that wasn't some inside joke. And that we either didn't get it or we're being made fun of. But if not, Sho, perhaps you can introduce me to this Japanese famous rice.
There you go. That's for you, Sho.
You know this Japanese famous rice?
I don't know the Japanese famous rice.
So unfortunately, nobody knows the Japanese famous
Show
rice. Show
me.
Next up here, we have Adam from Bethpage, New York. And then he's got a comment here that says, please sign it to Adam. Hi, this is Windjammer from the board. Tom, it has been a pleasure to watch you work yourself over the years into the position of champion. Looking forward to greater things on the horizon, hopefully across the Pacific Ocean. Fight on, Filthy.
Thanks, I appreciate it, Adam. Must be a big disc golf fan of sorts, sorry. Excuse me.
No
Must be a disc golf fan of sorts. Windjammer.
Yeah, Windjammer, yeah.
Right? Is that what that's about?
No.
Could be something else.
Could be. I mean, I know it as a video game that has like disc golf type things to it.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned it.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, thanks. I did work myself into this position, didn't I? Worked a lot of people on strong and compromising positions. It's not going to end anytime soon.
That's what makes you the undefeated champion. Let's see here. Next up here, we have Mark from Belfast, North Ireland.
Oh.
All the way out from Ireland.
I thought you meant yourself.
Oh, no. Mark has a comment here. Hello, Mr. Lawlor, a longtime fan. Can't wait to see you wrestle in Japan when the world opens up. Question: Next time you're up in Seattle, in the Seattle area, do you think you'll have a chance to do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training with Oreo the Orca? I've heard Brian Alvarez might give him a belt promotion soon.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the only colors I've ever seen Oreo wear are black and white. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm not sure. I assume he's a white belt. Mm-hmm. I don't think Oreo is gonna get on the mat with me. To be fair, no. I mean, like I said about Zack Sabre, there's certainly levels to this, and Oreo is below sea level.
That's
and I'm
difficult.
At the peak when you think about it. So he's gonna work his way up to me. Sorry.
All right. Have you ever had to fight a whale before?
In my college days.
There we go. Tom Lawlor with experience fighting whales before Oreo, so Oreo better watch out. So next up here, we have Brody from Staten Island, New York. And Brody asked who your favorite wrestler is, not on Team Filthy.
Ooh, that's, you know what? He threw that in there, which is very smart because it causes me to think for a second. And you know who my favorite wrestler is? Not on Team Filthy. I mean, it's Shuri Kondo. That's who it is, the Stardom champion. But I'm assuming he's looking for something a little more along the lines of someone like Doink the Clown. I'm a big Doink the Clown fan, as well the original Doink, great amateur wrestler. So there you go. There's your answer.
Would either of them perhaps get a future spot onto Team Filthy?
The original Doink is no longer with us. But I guess posthumously, we could add him to the team.
An honorary member?
Yeah. And Shuri, there's an open invitation for Shuri to join Team Filthy at any time.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are into the last 15 minutes of our stream here, so don't forget to head over to the Tokon Shop Global right now using the link in the description or the pinned comment in the chat. Last chance here, get your signed merchandise from Filthy Tom Lawlor while he is still in the building. Like we have here from Josie here in Des Moines, Iowa. And Josie has asked, what do you like about wrestling?
You know, there's a lot of things I like about wrestling. Ever since I was a little kid, it's a thing that I wanted to do the absolute most with my time. And now that I've grown up, one of the best feelings to me is the ability to go out there and hear the crowd, hear everybody going crazy, hear everybody having a good time. And to me, that's honestly, that's what I like the most. That's what it's all about. Not only being able to, provide people with a good time, but also to hear them, like it honestly, it feels good to hear people cheer. Sometimes it feels good to hear people boo. But the fact that everybody's out there having fun, having a blast at wrestling, that's why I like it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Josie, for your question. Next up here, we've got James from Madison, Illinois. And then he's got a question, which is, I love the jorts. Who gave you the idea for the jorts tights?
Who gave me the idea? Like, obviously, it was Phil Baroni. MMA legend, the New York Badass. Go watch his greatest hits.
There you go, James. That'll answer your question on where those jorts came from. Don't forget, catch New Japan Strong every Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on njpwworld.com, where you can catch Filthy Tom Lawlor in action. This week, New Beginning USA rolls on as the US of J Open Challenge continues to go on with a mystery opponent. So catch Strong this Saturday and find out who it is.
Is it you?
It's not me. I'll already go. I'll just spoil that right now. I am not the opponent for Jay White in the US of J Open Challenge. Next up here, we've got Jeff from Ellenswood, Kansas. And Jeff's got a question. What is your favorite movie? Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star, doesn't count. Seriously, though, it's been awesome to see your star continue to rise in pro wrestling. Keep it filthy.
What was that guy's name?
Jeff.
Jeff. Is that Jeff Cobb?
That is also not Jeff Cobb.
Jeff. My favorite movie that it's not Bucky Larson and not from the Emmanuel series is probably, at this point, Walk Hard.
Okay. The Dewey Cox story?
The Dewey Cox story. That's what I'm going to go with for today.
Okay. There you go, Jeff.
Either that or Troll Hunter.
Oh, Troll Hunter.
Check it out.
There you go. Check out Troll Hunter, Jeff. Rewatch Walk Hard if you haven't seen it. It's one of Tom Lawlor's favorite films.
Seen Troll Hunter? Foreign film.
Next up here, we have Danny from West Haven, Connecticut. Got a portrait and a shirt. He's got a question right over here. Obviously, the way that your UFC career ended sucked, but is there at least some type of silver lining that it led you back into professional wrestling? That's from Danny, not me.
Hey, I think he answered his own question. Yeah, it sucked, but I'm here now. So I wouldn't have it any other way.
There you go. That's Danny's portrait right there.
You know the answer, buddy.
And then he also got a T-shirt. So, yeah.
I wouldn't be here signing this shirt if it weren't for the way that things went
Don't
at the
forget.
end of my UFC career. So I'm happy that they ended that way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that you can catch New Japan Pro Wrestling live in the United States. Filthy Tom Lawlor will be on those shows as well. Tomorrow night, New Japan Strong Rivals at the Vermont Hollywood. March 20th at St. Petersburg Coliseum in Tampa, Florida for Strong Style Evolved. April 1st for WrestleCon in Dallas, Texas, as well as Windy City Riot in Chicago, Illinois at the Odeum Events Center. April 16, don't miss New Japan Pro Wrestling Live. Don't miss Tom Lawlor Live. Don't miss your chance to get some Tom Lawlor merchandise right now. So next up here, we have Gabriel. And he is from Frederick, Minnesota. He says, I don't have a question. I'm just supporting Tom because he's awesome, and I've been watching and listening to him for years. Thank you, Tom. Gabriel.
Well, Gabriel, let me know if there's any way I can support you. I've been getting support mostly from my jockstrap for years, but it's good now that I'm here in New Japan to have fans like Gabriel not only enjoy my wrestling and enjoy my podcast work like some others do. So thanks, buddy.
We are 10 minutes away from the end of our meet and greet. Last chance to get your merchandise. Head over to the Tokon Shop Global right now. Get some signed Filthy Tom Lawlor merchandise. Next up over here, we have Cody Ludwig. And Cody is from British Columbia, Canada. And Cody writes here, if you could make it out to Cody with a K, so it's K-O-D-Y, that would be amazing. Big fan, Tom. I've been listening to you for years now, and I'm so glad and proud of all your success. And I'm excited to see all your future successes. I've always been curious, when did you and your chop and roll partner, Brian Alvarez, meet?
Cody, I can and I will make it out to Cody with a K. I was wondering what would happen if I said I couldn't. Myself and Brian Alvarez first met at, I believe, might have been, it was a WrestleMania weekend,
Okay.
perhaps a Ring of Honor show. Perhaps it was in
Do you remember the location, perhaps? Even if
San
not
Francisco, wherever wherever the San Francisco WrestleMania was.
that was, I think, that was 31. I want to say that was
Santa
like 8
Clara.
years ago. Yeah. It was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Santa Clara, one of those shows. I went to like 10 shows that weekend. And that's probably what led me back into the ring, actually.
Was talking to Brian Alvarez?
No.
Oh,
going,
just going to the
to
show.
all these shows.
Just
Yeah,
going to the
I'm
shows.
talking to Brian Alvarez.
Sorry.
Actually, it probably did because, actually, no, that preceded him. Yeah. Come on.
Well, there you go, Cody with a K. That is for you. And then next up over here, we have Jesus from Antouch, California. And Jesus writes, my dream match is between you and Cody Rhodes. Is there a chance you will be appearing in the Royal Rumble so you two could face down and have a dream match? So these were, that question is obviously submitted before.
No,
Royal Rumble
I
just
doubt
happened.
it.
Yeah.
What's his name?
That is for Jesus.
What's the date of this question?
I don't know.
I just like
know.
to double check.
Yeah.
Jesus, I will be appearing in the Royal Rumble the same time that Cody, Mox, The Rock, and perhaps Mae Young all make their returns. I'll be there then.
That's a dream rumble if I've ever heard
It was rumored to be happening this year, but hey, things went differently.
I believe there's a question that is on a lot of people's minds, Tom, and it is that your favorite New Japan Pro Wrestling match of 2021? Is it still Mass Strong Spirits versus Sin Bodhi? And if so, which of the trilogy is your favorite between Mass Strong Spirits and Sin Bodhi?
I mean, if I can be quite honest, be candid with everybody, that really wasn't my favorite match.
Oh, it wasn't?
No,
Okay.
no. And after a lot of review, I'm not quite sure that what I chose, which was Juice and El Phantasmo, LP, was my favorite match either, because there was so much awesome action. I'm watching the end of the year, New Japan. We've got Eddie Kingston and Gabriel Kidd having a killer match. You know, I remember thinking back to watching live a matchup between Jay White, the Never openweight champion at the time, and Robbie Eagles, who at the time was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. You know, a champion versus champion match on New Japan Strong. That's never happened in the history of it. So, you know, I'm sorry, Mass Strong Spirits, but you're getting bumped to the bottom of the match of the year list with much retrospect.
All right. All right. And then we've got one over here from, looks to be Michael Sempervivi.
Okay.
Please sign this to Semp and something super witty. Also, how does it feel he matches up with a technical stud like the Great Okan?
Oh, we've actually already kind of answered
Oh, yeah.
this question when we
That you
talked
wanna-
about
that you want
Okan.
to have the amateur rules match with Okan.
Well, yeah, because I think I stack up pretty nicely. I mean, from what I saw, it was a guy who's kind of out of practice of the amateur rules. I think I'd be able to gas him out pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be like, you ever, I mean, I'm sure you've been on the receiving end of this, but you ever been beaten up as a kid and have somebody, you know, hit you with your own hand?
Yes,
Like,
I
I could
have.
see myself taking that claw, taking Okan down and grabbing that claw. Sorry, I'm choking over here. And not choking him with it, but clawing himself. If I got my hands on that bum.
Yeah, there you go. Strong words there to the Great Okan. And that one is going to be to Semp. And then as soon as Mr. Lawlor is finished signing that, we are under 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So get your orders in right now. That way you can get a piece of Tom Lawlor merchandise signed before he leaves the building. But since we are under that 5-minute mark, I believe it is time for us to do our raffle drawing here to find out which one of our lucky Tokon Shop patrons will be winning a signed pair of Filthy Tom Lawlor shorts.
Well, how does this work? What are we gonna have something come in over here,
Yeah,
or do I just pick a number out of my hat?
We're going to have a random number generator here.
Do I pick it out of my
So
clothes over here?
you'll be able to, somebody
All
is
right, let's see.
likely to be winning Filthy Tom Lawlor shorts right about now. So at your behest, Mr. Lawlor,
We're ready? We're ready to do this?
I'm ready. I think the world is ready. Somebody is winning a pair of your shorts that you will
let's
sign
see.
right here live on
If
camera.
everybody's ready,
Oh, dear.
let's
Okay.
go ahead. These denim over shorts are gonna go to a nice home, Adnan.
All right. And, oh, number 0.
That can't be right. Who's in charge here? Hey, Limelight! Guy's at the club.
Hanging out with
Supposed to
his,
be working.
hanging out with his hentes. All right. We'll just troubleshoot our technical issue right over here, and then,
I'm gonna put these pants back on.
well,
We ready?
let's find out. One of these spots will work.
Is my hand too strong?
It might be. You might have broken our tablet here with your strong hands. The strongest hands in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Promise this is not a gimmick.
We're sorry for the technical snafus here. We promise somebody is winning these denim shorts right now from our strong openweight champion. You'll still be able to see him live tomorrow at the Vermont Hollywood for New Japan Pro Wrestling Rivals. Tickets are still available, so head over to njpw1972.com. You can see the strong openweight champion in action in a 10-man tag. Looks like we may have fixed our technical snafu this time. So third time's a charm, Tom. Third time's a charm.
Yeah, this guy back there had to get rid of his incognito browser
Oh dear.
before the camera picked it
All
up.
right, who's winning the pair of signed Tom Lawlor denim shorts? 21. So number 21 here. That is actually going to be Hiroki from Hiroshima,
Hey,
Japan.
Look at that.
Congratulations, Hiroki from Hiroshima. And, well, Tom, if you'd like to, I guess, do the honors.
Hey, you're paying the shipping, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Hiroki!
Right.
Hiroshima, all the way to Hiroshima.
Yep, we will pay the shipping. All right, so... Oh, and he is just going to disrobe those shorts right here. You can clearly see now on the stream. They were worn on the stream. Tom is taking them off, and he will be signing them right here live on camera. Any words for Hiroki on winning these denim shorts?
Well, if I were Hiroki, I wouldn't wash these.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably wear them to any dinner or formal occasion I could, just to show everybody how strong you are, Hiroki.
The silver one, perhaps? Yeah. There we go.
Should I go on the inside, you think? Where should I sign? Maybe in the pocket area?
Sign him, I'd say, on the outside. That way he can wear them with pride. Show off that he
Yeah.
got these shorts from the strong open weight champion, Filthy Tom Lawlor.
I don't think anyone's going to believe him. That's the issue.
Oh,
But here
well,
you
guess
go, Hiroki.
it'll be on video right here. Hiroki can show people on video Filthy Tom Lawlor signing these denim shorts. The first and only strong open weight champion.
Thanks for your help, bud.
There we go. The signature is being applied, and that'll go out to you in Japan.
There we go. I just asked for help. You walk away
There you go.
midway
And
through.
that is proof right here, live on stream. Hiroki, there you go. A signed pair of Filthy Tom Lawlor denim shorts.
Got to get a shorter pair next time.
All right. Okay, our orders are closed for the meet and greet. Mr. Lawlor, do you have any closing thoughts for the New Japan Pro Wrestling faithful who are watching at home right now?
No, I'd like to thank you if you've spent 1 second of your time or 1 penny of your money on supporting me, supporting New Japan Strong, and let's keep it going.
Yeah.
You know, we've had a kind of a bad few years as a planet, but one good thing came out of it, and that's we've got New Japan Strong. And now it can only get stronger. So let's keep it up, right?
That sounds like a good idea.
Give me that mace,
Oh,
if you can.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All right. Am I good to go?
All right.
I'm going to go meet up with Mi Gente or whatever it is.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That is your strong open weight champion, Filthy Tom Lawlor. Don't forget to catch him in action tomorrow night at New Japan Pro Wrestling Rivals at the Vermont Hollywood. Head to njpw1972.com for ticket information because tickets are still available for that, as well as many other amazing New Japan events heading your way this year in the United States. But for New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm Adnan Qureshi. Thank you very much for joining us here for this live meet and greet with Filthy Tom Lawlor, your strong open weight champion.